The sink is dry, the tap spits air, your last gallon of clean water is a warm, precious bladder in the corner, and you just used a cup of it to wash a single bowl. You stare at the gray, soapy puddle in the basin, and your brain screams waste. But it's not waste. It's a resource with 5 lives left to live. Most people dump it on the ground and watch it sink into dirt that doesn't need it. You will pour it through a 5-stage cascade that turns a single quart of dishwater into a cleaning agent, a fire barrier, a moisture trap, a plant nutrient, and a toilet flush. This is the hydrology of survival. Every drop serves until it's gone. Subscribe so you never miss this. Stay for way number 5. The one that uses no filter, no chemical, no flame, and turns your dirtiest gray water into a silent, invisible shield against the thing you fear most. The systemic lie is that water is clean or dirty, drinkable or waste. The prepper water manuals tell you to filter, boil, and store, but they never teach you the hierarchy of use, the sequence of reuse that stretches a single quart into a domestic survival cycle. Dishwater is not sewage. It is water with a small load of soap and food particles. Soap is biodegradable. Food particles are nitrogen. Both are useful to a system that knows how to extract every last calorie of utility before the final drop evaporates. The cascading reuse of gray water is not a hack. It's how every long-term closed-loop habitat, from the International Space Station to an off-grid desert homestead, manages scarcity. Way 1. The degreasing pre-wash. Your dishes are crusted with food, grease, and salt. You have no running water. Scrape them thoroughly into a compost bucket, not the drain. Then take a small amount of your stored water, maybe a half cup, and add a single drop of biodegradable soap. Wash the dishes in a basin. This is your highest quality gray water. Do not dump it. Pour it through a strainer, a fine mesh sieve, a piece of cheesecloth, a clean sock into a second container. The captured solids go to compost. The strained, soapy water is now a degreasing pre-wash for the next meal. Heat it slightly if you can. Use it to soak the next set of crusted bowls. Way 2. The fire barrier and dust suppressant. You are cooking over an open flame. The ground around your fire pit is dry grass, dead leaves, a tinderbox waiting for a spark. Slowly, carefully, pour your used, cooled dishwater around the perimeter of the fire pit. Soak a ring of soil. The soapy water acts as a fire break. It will not stop a wildfire, but it will prevent a stray ember from igniting your camp while you sleep. The same principle applies to dusty paths and high-traffic areas around your shelter. A light sprinkle of gray water settles airborne dust, keeping your lungs clearer and your gear less gritty. Most people use clean water for dust control and fire safety. Or they use nothing at all. You will use the water that already cleaned your dishes. Way 3. The evaporative cooler wick. You are in heat. Your shelter is an oven. You have a damp cloth, a breeze, and a container of dishwater. Submerge a cotton cloth, a towel, a t-shirt into the gray water. Wring it partially. Hang it in a window, a doorway, or across a ventilation path. As air passes through the damp fabric, the water evaporates. Evaporation steals heat from the air. The air that enters your shelter is now measurably cooler. This is a swamp cooler stripped to its absolute bones. The soap in the water actually helps. It reduces surface tension and enhances wicking through the fabric. The gray water cools you. Then the water is gone, absorbed into the atmosphere. You have traded a quart of dishwater for a few hours of thermal relief. Most people sweat through a heat wave and drink their last clean water. You will cool the room with the water you already used to wash a plate. Way 4. The nitrogen drip for plants. You have a small container garden, a potato bucket, a tomato plant, in a 5-gallon drum. Plants need nitrogen. Your dishwater has microscopic food particles, grease, starch, protein fragments that bacteria in the soil will break down into nitrogen and phosphorus. Strain the dishwater one final time to remove larger chunks that would attract pests, then pour it directly onto the soil. Not the leaves. Pour it around the base of the plant, at the stem. The soil acts as a biofilter. The bacteria consume the soap and food, converting waste into fertilizer. Do not pour gray water onto root vegetables or leafy greens you are about to eat. Pour it onto heavy feeders like corn, tomatoes, sunflowers, or any plant in a non-food windbreak. In a world without fertilizer supply chains, your dishwater is a nutrient stream. Most people dump it and starve their soil. You will feed the ground that feeds you. Way 5. The toilet flush and sanitation seal. The plumbing is dead. The toilet is a dry bowl with a deep pipe that vents sewer gas into your house. You need to flush, not for comfort, but to seal the trap against flammable, toxic methane. Your final stage dishwater, now dark, heavily used, strained of solids, is perfect for this. Pour it directly into the toilet bowl with force. The water column refills the S-bend trap, the sewer gas is blocked, your bathroom stops smelling like a grave. You flushed your waste with zero fresh water. If you are using a composting toilet or a bucket latrine, gray water serves as a rinse for the catchment bucket. The soap in the water provides a mild antimicrobial action that slows bacterial bloom. Most people use drinking water to flush, then wonder why they ran out. You will use water that has already degreased dishes, cooled a room, and fed a plant. It doesn't get to retire until it's sealed your waste away from your lungs. Here is the reality. The water conservation charts and the survival manuals won't print. Water in a crisis is not a single-use commodity. It's a soldier that marches through your camp, doing a different job at every stop. The same quart that washed your spoon can cool your shelter, feed your garden, and seal your toilet. You do not need fresh water for any of these tasks. You need a mindset that sees waste as a resource in the wrong place. The cascade is degrease, firebreak, cooling, fertilize, flush. Follow the hierarchy. Respect the drop. In a world without taps, every molecule of H2O serves until it's either drunk by a root or exhaled by a breeze. Now drop a comment and tell me this. The next time you wash dishes, look at the water before you dump it. What will you use it for? Write one of the 5 ways in the comments. Then do it tonight. And in the next video, we are building the smallest gray water recycling system on Earth. A 2-bucket, gravity-fed biofilter that takes your rank dishwater and turns it into clear, odorless, plant-ready hydration using nothing but sand, charcoal, and a handful of worms. I'll see you there.